Hello, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to demonstrate a Rustic Christmas card for you. Rustic is really in, and I happen to love this look myself. And what I use is one of my favorite stamp sets in the holiday catalog, and it's called Winter Woods. See, the images are just beautiful in this. And the ones I used were these three right here. And then I also used the buffalo check background. This is my new favorite background. I love it a lot. It makes a lot of really neat cards. Perfect for masculine cards too, but you can do so much more with it. And then I used Timeless Tidings. This coordinates with a card kit that I can't remember the name of right now. But it was so popular that they ran out there for a while, but now they've got a new supply in, so you're able to order that again. But we'll be using the Merry Christmas stamp with this set. Okay, let's get started. We'll go ahead and start off with the background stamp. And this is how I do the background stamps. When they're big like this, it's a lot easier just to put them down with the rubber facing up. Ink it up. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then take the paper. This is a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of cherry cobbler. Lay that down. Just as long as it's on there, it doesn't have to be completely centered, but you do want it to be straight. And take a scrap piece of paper on top of it and just rub on all. Make sure you get all the way and get all the way to the edges, and then it's done. I always go past the actual cardstock, that way I know it's going to be completely covered. So that got the whole image. Okay, we'll put that to the side. And now I'm going to take my card base, which is a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 piece of Crumb Cake cardstock, and I'll fold this in half. Use my bone folder. And put some snail in this. I always make sure I put snail in the corners and then some on the long edge. Okay. And the base of the card's done. I'll go ahead and put this aside for now. Now we're going to do some stamping. I wanted to have this birch tree background behind my tree lines. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Crumb Cake ink it up, and I'm going to stamp off, get a lighter version. And I want to show you an easy way to line this up. If you take the edge of the stamp right here and line it up with the edge of the paper, and I'm at an angle, so hopefully I'm lining it up right. That makes it so you can make it straight, and it also gives you a nice little, it just places it correctly on the paper. Can't think of my words today. Now I'm going to line the edge of that stamp with the last tree, and that spaces it just right, and I forgot to stamp off, so we're going to turn it over. Do this again. You stamp off, line the edge of the stamp with the cardstock, stamp off, line the edge of the stamp with the last tree, and you just keep doing that until you've got it finished. There we go. So I've got that done. Now I'm going to take the tree line stamp, and I'm going to ink it up with my early Espresso. And I tend to, especially when they're bigger, I like to do it this way, where you hold the stamp upside down and tap the ink on top of it. And I'm going to line the top of this tree. Well, not really line it up, just make sure it's within the piece. It's okay if the trunks come off the bottom. But see, that placed it pretty good. So that piece is done, and we're going to mount it onto a piece of, I forgot to give you the size of this one. This one is a 2 7/8 by 4 1/8, and this one is 3 inches by 4 1/4. Actually, I mixed those around, but those are the sizes. And this one's just 1/8 of an inch wider and taller than my Crumb Cake piece, because I just wanted a narrow border. Normally you do 1/4 of an inch more on each side, but I just did 1/8 more. So that's ready. Now I'm going to bring in some braided, this is our 3/16 inch braided linen trim, and this is a 6 inch piece, and this is a 4-inch piece. I'm going to take the 6-inch piece and wrap it around the bottom. I know it's going to be around here. I'm going to make it an extra wide piece of adhesive, so that way this will land where I want it. It gets on some adhesive no matter what. If I just did the one strip, I might miss the adhesive. So I know it's going to be about right there, so we'll bring that around. Get that kind of straight. Wrap that around. And have that extra wide, made it so it's stuck. That's ready. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on the card right now. I think it's a little easier to tie the little ribbon on with this on the card. Gives you a little more to work with. So center that. Take your 4-inch piece, you're going to slide it underneath the attached piece of trim, and then tie it on with a single knot. You can do a double knot. I always do a single knot because I think it looks better that way, and it's going to stay on. And then also the neat way, the reason I do this a lot, it uses less of the trim, and you can also slide this back and forth to where you want it, instead of just keeping it as one piece and then tying it into a knot. I like using the 2 separate pieces. And it makes makes this lie flatter for me too. Okay, now we're ready to do the tree. So this is a 3-inch by 4-inch piece of Very Vanilla. I'm going to take my shaded Spruce. Get hold of this. And stamp this up. I think it's easier to do this way. There we go, that went a lot better. There's a demonstration of why I do it that way. Covered it up a lot easier. And you're going to see when I lift this up that there's dimension to this stamp. Just stamping at the one time, I got some lighter versions here that makes it look like there's actually snow on the tree. I love that. And it's okay that I got a little bit of that border of that stamp on there because we're going to be die cutting that out. I'm going to use, I forgot to show you the framelits I'm using. This is called In the Woods. These are the framelits that go with the Winter Wood stamp set. And I'm just going to be using this one right now. And I'm going to get my Big Shot out. And what you need is the magnetic platform, a standard cutting pad, put your cardstock down with the tree, and line this up with the tree. Just kind of move it around until it's where you need it. And then take the standard cutting pad and put it in. Run it through, and you only need to run it through once. Sometimes with the detailed ones I'll run it through twice, but since this is a framelit, just running it through once is plenty. And there we go. There's our tree. Now, I liked the way this looked with just stamping it, but I wanted to have that rustic look, and I wanted the vanilla to be a little darker around the edges. So I'm taking my Crumb Cake, getting some ink on a sponge, and I'm sponging the edges. And it darkens it up, and it just, I think this really makes it look really neat. So whenever you want to get something that looks a little more rustic, just sponge some ink on it, and you can do that. There we go. So that vintaged it up a little bit. And now we're going to stamp the greeting. This is a 4-inch by 3 1/4 piece of Very Vanilla. I'm going to take my early Espresso ink pad again. And this is the Merry Christmas from the Timeless Tidings. Ink it up. I'm going to stamp it near the center. Doesn't have to be perfect, but near the centers works pretty good. And then I'm going to take my paper snips, and I'm going to cut this end at an angle. This is the only end you'll need to cut. That's ready to go. Get this out of the way. Bring the card back in. And I'm going to put this on with Dimensionals. So we'll put one, here on the top, and then one in each bottom corner here of the tree. And that should be plenty. Take the paper backing off. Oops, there we go. And this is going to be put on over here to the left. And I'm having it hang over this layer. I liked that look. Now this, the reason I had this over a little bit is we're going to tuck that underneath there. So I wanted the Merry Christmas to still be seen. So we'll get our adhesive on here. Slide it underneath that tree. And that's it. I hope you like it. It's a quick and easy card too, and I really love the look of that. That rustic look is just really in now. Makes me think of Fixer Upper when I look at it. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to be notified whenever I do a video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel below. And in the description, you also find the supply list and the dimensions I used for all the paper. You can also follow me on my website, www.createwithchristy.com. I've got other projects there. And you can also order your Stampin' Up! Supplies there also. Just click Shop Now when you're on that website. I do want to let you know about a doily rewards program I've started recently. For every $50 you place on an order, you'll earn a doily. And when you earn 10 doilies, you'll get a $50 shopping spree on me. Anything in this current in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, you can get more information by clicking the link to my doily rewards page, and that'll explain everything. And you'll also need to use the current host code. But I'll even pay for the shipping and handling and the tax. So it's a really good deal. It's my way of thanking all my loyal customers. And also you can follow me on my Pinterest board, Facebook, and Instagram. So I hope you have a good weekend. See you soon.